One person responsible for getting Bilodeau to the podium is Scott Livingston.
Yeah, he trains Alex and many other Olympic athletes right here in Montreal. It's all part of the B210 group.
And our Kelly Gregg sat down with Livingston for this one-on-one interview.
Well, I'm joined now by Scott Livingston, performance coach and athletic therapist with B210, working with some of our Olympic athletes. Scott, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And I see we're matching today. We're very patriotic.
Got to wear my red Canadian colors. Actually,
Yeah.
I got this jersey from Alex Bilodeau after he won his first gold medal in Vancouver, so I thought I'd wear it today in honor of him and honor of Canada.
Well, that's a great day to do it. Now, you did mention you work with Alex Bilodeau, other Olympic names like Mikhail Kingsbury, Erik, Guay. I mean, obviously they're at the top of their games when they get to the Olympics, but what's the road to the games like?
Well, it's a long road. It's 4 years every time they go through this process, and they have to focus on that. And I think we get very focused on the Olympics. They have a wholly different process. They actually compete in World Cup circuits, and there are other events that mean something to them, so they have to work for those and have success in those areas. We get focused every few years on what's happening at the Olympics, but they're toiling away and working at their game every summer, getting in shape, and every winter, competing.
Well, you mentioned they toil away, and in the case of Alex Bilodeau, I mean, he's been training since those Vancouver Games for 4 years for about 25 seconds in that gold medal run. So what was it like for you to see your athletes with medals around their necks?
Well, it was an amazing accomplishment to see it all come together, especially for Alex. I don't think people really understand how hard it is to do what he did. To win a gold medal is incredibly difficult. You see the number of silver medals we have this year. It only is micro moments in life and tiny little mistakes that make the difference between winning a silver and winning a gold or not winning anything. And what Alex did is incredible, to do a back-to-back golds like that. And you see the moments in his, the group of 20 when he almost fell, and he himself says, it was a bit of a wake-up call for him at that moment. But that could have also gone another way, and his day could have been over. So your heart is in your throat. You watch it, and you hope it all works out for them, because they put so much energy into those moments. You're
obviously very passionate when you talk about your athletes. What's the most rewarding part for you in your job?
Well, people have asked me that before, and for me, I mean, I get to work with very talented people who would be there with or without me, in a sense. I believe that what I bring to the table for my athletes and what makes me proud is when they have successful careers, when they're uninjured or they're healthy, and they're able to bring what they can do, their talent, to the game every single time they run. And I think the thing I'm most proud of for Alex as he leaves is the fact that he's going to leave his career of 10 years that we worked together. He's never had a significant injury. He's got healthy knees in a sport that often people are getting ACL surgeries and different kinds of rehabs, etc. And that's never been something that Alex had to deal with. So that's my pride, and that's what I look to as the validation for the work that we put in.
So you mentioned Alex walking away with no injuries, but you have had to work with a lot of people who have had injuries. You were a trainer with the Montreal Canadiens for a number of years. How do you compare working with these amateur athletes compared to professional athletes?
Well, amateur athletes, I mean, they're training in a sense for no real reward financially. I mean, there are rewards, but they're certainly not the same as professional athletes. And yet, in many cases, they put in many more hours than professionals do to the work that they do. And they're very dedicated athletes, very committed athletes, but they get injured just like professional athletes get injured. They have to deal with the same trials and tribulations and pain, and oftentimes they're doing it with no income because they're out, because they're injured, whereas a professional athlete might have an insurance plan, or their income might still be coming. So, they pick themselves up every time something happens and work towards their goal and their dream again to compete for Canada and to compete for themselves. And hopefully they have a successful life after sport. And so when I work with the athletes that I do, if I can help them get through their career and be uninjured, or go through rehabilitations that leave them in a healthy place, that's rewarding to me.
Well, obviously the work you do is rewarding to all Canadians when we see our athletes on the podium. Scott, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing more of your work coming up.
Thank you.